As a teacher for nearly 30 years, I've noticed students not real good at making up stories. Unlike the yellow journalists of the late 1800s, early 1900 time period, they made everything up. And as an opportunity to apply that kind of knowledge, we did the same thing in class. I took this picture, clearly young people reading books, and likened it to an evil plot by Amazon to create future members, people who are going to spend money on books to continue to create their profits. And doing this as a test program, I made up everything: who, what, where, when, why, and how. And created it, wrote it, and then left it there. There seems to be a real need for people to read, but we have a hard time motivating them. By starting children as young people, then they were able to be excited about it and become lifelong learners, lifelong readers, lifelong, that's right, customers of Amazon. So, to sum it up, sometimes yellow journalists took a picture, completely created a story about it, and passed it off as the real news, just as we have done in class.
Capability of creating tornadoes, and she does this when she is mad. She can create tornadoes anywhere in the universe during the present day. Tornadoes often touch down on this earth, sometimes causing mild damage and others causing mass destruction. Tornadoes are rated by how strong they are, how long they last, how far they go, and how much damage they cause. After being rated on these things, they are categorized as an F1, an F2, an F3, an F4, or an F5 tornado, F5 being the worst. So why do tornadoes happen? What causes them? Twisting Taylor and her mom, Mother Nature, get into a fight, causing Taylor to become furious. Twisting Taylor is what causes tornadoes when she is mad. She takes it out on the earth by creating tornadoes. After her fight with her mom, she is so furious, she decides to send a tornado down on the town of Albia, Iowa. This tornado causes mass destruction to some houses, Hy-Vee, and quality ag. Mother Nature becomes very upset that Taylor would take her anger out on innocent people. Mother Nature decides to punish Taylor. She does this by making Taylor help the town of Albia clean up after the mess she created. Maybe this will make Taylor think about her actions. Taylor may, from now on, figure out another way to deal with her anger. This will cause the world to have less tornadoes.
Retired Ruth, still at the top of her game. Humidity forces many people inside during the long, hot Florida summers. Unfortunately for those who would scam retired folks out of their money, Retired Ruth is not one of those many people. Retired Ruth has been hunting the streets of Floridian retirement villages for the last 5 years, ferreting out those who would steal from the aged. There are many who prey on the lack of tech skills of the older crowd, and Retired Ruth helps these tech-deprived folks get the skills they need to fight the cyber bandits. Her many years of teaching computer skills have allowed her to hone her abilities to assist in the battle of good versus evil. Never have criminals been more creative nor had more access to the money of retirees than today. Their expertise manipulating tech devices have allowed them to bilk old folks out of money using scams ranging from grandchildren needing bail money to supporting their favorite television preachers by sending in a donation. It's been estimated that seniors lose at least $2.6 billion per year to scammers, many of whom target those in Florida because these folks have the financial resources to retire to a warmer climate. These people have little recourse once the money is lost. Tragedies such as these must be prevented or avenged. In 2009, Ruth Banskowitz and her husband Herman moved to Osprey Island, a retirement village on Amelia Island, Florida, located near Jacksonville. Ruth realized the extent of the thefts being committed against retirement age residents when she began friending many of them on Facebook. Ruth spent months collecting information from her many Facebook friends. Relying upon the lessons she used to teach at Manhattan Bridges High School, she also became adept at Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. All of these apps allowed Ruth to create an effective model to root out those who would separate the old from their money. Soon she would put her plans into place, plans that would protect her people while punishing the thieves. Using tweets, snaps, and grams, what all the cool old hipsters call Instagrams, Ruth was able to educate the thousands of her followers on what to look for when scammers come calling. Her ability to employ social media, she's even found Pinterest to be useful, has spoiled many would-be scammers. She has also set up many sting operations in which potential scammers are busted by the authorities after being set up by Ruth. She especially likes to tap into the criminal's cell phone activity and then play back the disparaging conversations concerning the intended elderly victims while hollering, "Who's done now, you little punk?" There will be many more thankful grandchildren in the world as the future unfolds, thanks to retired Ruth. With their inheritances safe, they will be able to concentrate on important activities such as going to college, starting a family, and of course, visiting those still wealthy grandparents at the retirement homes. Many of America's newly tech-savvy hipsters have joined Ruth's elderly posse, many who have artificial hips in addition to being trendy, and are now setting up their own undercover operations. So be warned, scammers, there's a new type of game in town. One in which you may end up in jail with an old person laughing at you instead of with their money in your offshore accounts.